Well, thank you to everyone that's tuning back into another newly listed on the CSE clip. I'm Anil Mall. I represent the Canadian Securities Exchange. And today we have a chance to speak virtually with Evan Gappelberg. Evan is the CEO of Toggle3D.ai. The company is listed on the exchange, trades under the symbol TGGL. Evan, I appreciate your time once again. I hope you're well.
Thanks. I'm doing well. Great to be here.
It's been a busy 2023 to say for you and your team.
It has. It's been a busy 5 years.
And especially with the last three, it sort of just seems like it's flown by. Now, there's been a lot of growth in the AI AR space. There's been a lot happening, a lot of investor interest. Evan, I want to get your insight a little bit before we start into what the company does about what's happening in this space, the reasons for all the growth and investor interest, and some of the trends that you and your team might be seeing.
Sure. So I started on this journey back in 2018 when I saw augmented reality, AI, machine learning, the Internet of Things all starting to emerge. And I felt like there was a unique opportunity to get involved and do something disruptive with some really cool technology. And so we went to market with an augmented reality solution, and 3D modeling for e-commerce was really how we started. Back then in 2018, 2019, it was really early. The industry actually wasn't ready. So we made an investment in the summer of 2021. We put $10 million into a company named 3D.ai, which had a kernel of AI that allowed us to use that AI to make 3D models. And that really has changed the game for us. Obviously, AI has become a hot topic today, but we've been at it for quite some time now. And our AI is getting stronger and stronger. Really, what's driving all this is two things. Technology has gotten much, much better. The computer has gotten much faster. It's able to handle much larger file sizes. So everything's just, super lightning quick when it comes to load times for these big, heavy files that are out there. And then, the other thing that's driving the adoption is ROI. When it comes to augmented reality and 3D models, it's just a better experience for shoppers and users, and ultimately they end up hitting the buy button more often and are much, much more engaged when something is a 3D model or AR. I mean, it's as much as 250% increase in conversions, as much as a 90+% increase in click-through rates, and as much as a 40% reduction in returns online for shopping in 3D and AR. So those things are driving this trend today. And then AI is really the story there, can be summed up in one word, and that's productivity. The productivity enhancements are off the charts with AI, and that's really why AI, everybody's chasing AI these days.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Now, so where does Toggle.3D.ai fit into this entire landscape? What do you guys do? What's the focus?
Yeah, so Toggle transforms CAD files, which, every manufacturer, everything that's ever been made, everything that's being made today, everything that's going to be made in the future has a CAD file that the manufacturer uses to create a mold and then, manufacture to spec. So millions of CAD files out there. Toggle ingests the CAD file, decimates it, meaning reduces all the little parts and stuff that are inside the CAD file down, and then essentially is able to give you a 3D model on the web, which is unheard of, that you could then texture, meaning you could add colors, you can add fabrics, you can add material to that 3D model, all inside Toggle, all point and click, and then publish that on the web. The ability to do that with 4K high quality 3D models is only because of the AI. So Toggle is an AI powered platform that uses the latest and greatest AI, algorithms. Some of it we write in house. Some of it we leverage off of other big tech companies like Meta. But the bottom line is that it's a web application that converts textures and allows you to customize and share high quality 3D models all in one place. And again, it brings CAD files to life where previously all those millions of CAD files were essentially dormant. They're just sitting, the manufacturer has it, but that's it.
And I guess this is a great way to get away from the traditional way of doing it and be able to make changes in real time, and then obviously implement them and see them along with your manufacturer.
Yes, exactly. So you're talking about collaboration and rapid prototyping. I mean, I used to manufacture products in China, and they would always send me samples. I'd have to FedEx them, they'd have to FedEx me, and then there's language barriers and there's all kinds of things that go wrong in the manufacturing process, and it would literally take weeks and sometimes months just to get something approved for production. With Toggle, it's all in 4K, 3D. You can even pull it out of the screen using augmented reality and put it in your room, and now it's in AR. And all that can happen in a collaborative environment. So I could be looking at it along with my manufacturer simultaneously. I could be looking at it at night, putting sticky notes on the model saying, change this, change that. They see it in the morning and they make those adjustments. And so everything is back to productivity. Productivity enhancements is really what's driving this. And so Toggle is adding a tremendous amount of productivity enhancements for people in the 3D design or even manufacturing world.
Fascinating stuff, Evan. Now, is there any of your peers that are doing something similar or any competition that might be around?
I mean, there's nobody that does exactly what Toggle does. There's a few competitors out there. If you look at some of the legacy companies that deal with CAD files, you have AutoCAD and Adobe. But when you compare Toggle with a 30 million market cap to Adobe with 170 plus billion, or Autodesk with 50 billion, it's obviously a tough comparison. Lots of upside for Toggle to grow into these markets and really disrupt some of the legacy software that's out there.
And of course, having a jump, which is news I seen that you guys had posted, having a jump in users since the company has IPO'd, which was very recently, obviously adds to the credibility and to the product and what it does.
Yeah, we're seeing a massive surge in adoption in the early days. It's very rare, at least in my business life, to see us go from 3,000 people on the platform that took us 6 months, let's say, to attract 3,000 people to sign up, and then we go public, and 30 days later, because we announced some new enhancements to the platform, and we really open it up. It's it's out of beta. We hit over 10,000. So from 3,000 to 10,000 in just like 30 days is pretty dramatic. And I would say that is just the beginning, meaning there's no reason we're not going to hit 100,000. There's no reason we're not going to hit 250,000. There's no reason we're not going to get into the millions. And just to put this in perspective, in terms of dollars and cents. So, the business model is you get people on the platform, it's free to start. And then as you use more of the features and functionality, you go to the paid version. So we have tiers, but the lowest tier is $29. That's the lowest tier, right? Which is still a month, which is ridiculously cheap. I mean, it's very affordable for everybody. So if you have 100,000 people on the platform, which I'm predicting we will this year, you can anticipate that roughly 30% of those will convert to this, $29. Yeah. And when you do the numbers, what you end up with is $10 million on those small numbers, $10 million in annual recurring revenue just off of that small, we're already at 10% of that in terms of users in 30 days. Where are we going to be in 12 months? I have to believe we're gonna be, with over 1 million users, and if we have 300,000 people using it, I'm not saying this is going to happen because this sounds a little too fantastic, but it can be that if you had 1 million users, 30% convert, that would be something like $100 million in annual run rate, which is why SaaS companies are so highly valued, because they can scale like to infinity very, very quickly.
Evan, I know you touched on this in the beginning a little bit, but can you talk to us a little bit about how you got into this space and your background?
Yeah, my background's Wall Street. I started out in actually the late 80s, a long time ago. So I've seen a lot of mega trends, and my whole career was trying to get in on the ground floor of these big trends. The internet was a huge trend back in the 90s that I participated in. The gaming industry, I took a company by the name of Take-Two Interactive Software public, TTWO, back in the 90s. And so that has like a 20 billion market cap today. Back then it was 30 million when we started. So my point is that my skill set is really identifying, these mega trends, which I've been doing for, over 3 decades. And in this instance, I felt like this was going to be so enormous, such a big mega trend, that I would create my own public company and raise the money and launch it on the CSE and list. And so I did that, as I mentioned, in 2018. And then Toggle is essentially one of the companies that we built in-house. We built the tech in-house. We've made 10 acquisitions. Some of those acquisitions was just technology without any, they weren't commercialized. So we would take the tech, build the team around it, and try and commercialize it. Some of it worked, some of it didn't work. The stuff that's working, we took public, meaning Toggle and ARway. And then, that's really the story. So Nextech owns 45% of the shares outstanding of Toggle. We dividended out 4 million shares to our shareholders. That's basically the float. And the rest is tightly held. So it's a very, very tight float on Toggle.
Having that ability to have a tight sort of structure gives you the ability to be able to do more as you sort of build this out. Now, I've also seen that, you've got a very strong team that's aligned with you. I want to talk a little bit about, your team. So maybe you can tell us some of your key team members. I also see that you brought on board a brand new, or announced a new director of growth marketing, Anita Mate. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, but I'll let you speak to our audience a little bit about why it's so important to have the right team members and who they might be.
Yeah. So the reality is that Toggle is the brainchild of the CTO, Nima Sashar, who is an ex-Apple computer vision guy. And, so he's really the brain behind Toggle. It's not me, in case anybody. So he's the one that really got us all to this point. And then we have Dasha, who really is our chief product officer, and she's been guiding this product into the market, doing tons of research on our competitors and potential other business models that we would copy, like Figma or Canva, things like that have sold for $20-30 billion the past couple of years. So that those are the key team members. And then, as you mentioned, we also have, developers, obviously, and AI specialists, which I'm not going to name them all, but the director of marketing that you mentioned, Anita, my one request of, my HR department for this hire was find me somebody with a tremendous track record, a successful track record at big tech. I don't want a no-name up-and-comer. We have a lot of those. You can say I'm one of those, right? So, but what the Anita brings is she came from Amazon, and that's a big boy. We do business with Amazon. That's $1 trillion public company, and so she's now running our marketing, and we could not be more excited about what she's going to bring to the table. Because back to the equation, drive people to Toggle, get them to sign up, and then get them to convert. You get that formula going, and the money just starts to pour in.
Now, the company, obviously, as we mentioned, has recently come to market and began trading. What can our viewers expect as milestones in, let's say, the latter half of 2023?
So we announced the 10,000 users that we have on the platform. Obviously, we're going to make additional announcements about, when we hit 20,000 or 50,000 or whatever it is. So there's definitely going to be that. And then we're introducing integrations. We're actually integrating with some extremely large 3D modeling platforms, some extremely large CAD platforms operations to expand our reach. There'll be more product offerings that we'll be announcing on the platform. There's going to be, I would say, a parade of news and milestones. We're a new company, so everything that we do is new and exciting, and we're going to share that with our shareholders throughout the rest of the year.
Evan, as always, we encourage our viewers to go to your website, do their due diligence, read up on your technology, of course, read up on your team background, and sign up for your press releases and information so they can sort of keep up with what the company is doing as this industry grows. Where would you send our viewers to sign up for this stuff and read up on your team?
Yeah, so I would recommend the viewers do two things. If you're interested in learning about Toggle3D, sign up for our newsletter and sign up for Toggle3D. Test it out yourself. We have some 3D models in there that are free. Signing up is free. You just put in your email. The 3D models are free. You just point and click, and you could change the texture, color, and have some fun with 3D models and really get a sense, take it for a test drive, get a sense for how the platform works. It's super easy. Anyone can do it. You can use it. I can use it. You don't need any coding. You don't need to be a tech wizard or a designer. It's point and click.
I'll definitely be trying that out later this weekend.
Yeah, it's fun, actually. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And of course, all of the postings, your filings, they're all available on the CSE website as well. Evan, really cool stuff. And I really appreciate you taking the time to, kind of educate not only myself, but our viewers on what's happening in this exciting space. I look forward to hosting you on towards the end of the year where we can provide another update to our viewers and your investors. To everybody watching, you've been listening to Evan Gappelberg. He's the CEO of Toggle3D.ai Incorporated, of course, listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange. Evan, thank you again, and I look forward to hosting you once again.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cheers.